Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm actually going to be uploading 2 videos today, so I do apologize. I don't really have a set schedule just yet, but I had one of my Disney movie tags that I just completed taping. So if you see both of these videos today, you'll notice that the outfit is the same, but I wanted to also quickly at least do this part one of a DIY video that I will be doing, and then what I'm going to be doing is once I get further along with the DIY, I will show you the next steps. The reason why I'm not doing this all in one is because one, I'm not really good at editing, and two, it just, to me, it makes a little bit more sense and shows that this is not the quickest of DIYs, but I'm going to show you some examples of basically the similar type of objects that I'm going to be doing, and then I'll talk about the twist of what I'm going to be doing for what I'm going to be creating all throughout the channel. So one of the things that my family has a tradition of is these personalized stockings. So we each have our own stocking. They have our own unique flair and personalized items that represent us either at the time or, you know, maybe even from our childhood if we got it later in life. And we ended up all getting these created for ourselves, and so it's our stockings. It's the ones that we've had forever. It's something that my grandmother had started, and then my mom picked up the idea, and then I have now started to do these not only to help my mother in this, but also I've made two for my best friend and her husband, and now I'm currently in process of making one for each of her kids. So it's just been one of those, it's a labor of love kind of things, because to create an entire stocking is very time consuming, but it's one of those things when you see the finished project, it's amazing. It is absolutely something that I love, I adore, and it is just, it's so great. And it's a great way to show this person how much you care about them. So I'm going to show you some of the pieces that I have created for my niece to go along with her stocking. So this is going to be the stocking that my mother and I are creating for her. She and I both have conceptualized this stocking together, and she does a lot of the kind of fine detail as far as cutting goes. I'm not good at cutting out pieces, which you're going to see on my DIY one, but basically everything else about her pieces and how they're getting placed and the extras that I'm going to put onto the stocking, all of that are stuff that I have really just kind of formatted and created. So I'm really excited to show you guys these pieces. If I do know you a little bit more personally, or if you're friends with me on Instagram, you may have already seen these pieces, so I apologize. You can always skip ahead to when I get into the intro of what my DIY is going to be, but I'm now going to show you those pieces. So I'm going to start off with this one. So this is a Christmas present. Sorry, it's so hard to show this with, not showing it, but I'm trying. That did not work at all. This is not the easiest thing to display. Wow. So as you can see, it is this very pretty light blue present color right here, and then a silver ribbon that goes and ties around it. So it's just a fun little boxed present, and this is done on felt. So as you can see, here's the backing to it. So these actually work, oh, I showed you that upside down. These actually work really well as patches as well, and then ornaments is what I'm going to be doing on the DIY, and I'll show you how I intend to carry that out. But so here's the first one with the present. The next one is my favorite one that I created for this, and that is Santa. So as you can see here, we have Santa. What I like about Santa is, whoa, just trying to see if I can do this. There we go. Not only do I have the different colors to him, but in order to help make sure that you can see that he has a mustache, I outlined that out in the black beads. I don't think you can really see the eyeball. I guess you can now. It's a little bit closer on the one side. But I use like this, actually that same blue from the present for the back of the eye, and then I used a blue bead to go on top for the eyeball itself. For his nose, I just purely used little red beads, and then for his mouth, I flipped over the red sequin, and then put the bead on top of that. And then that's also how I dealt with the white ones. I don't know if you can tell the difference in this, but if you look at the red, on a cup sequin, I don't know if you've ever dealt with sequins, but on a cup sequins, they're kind of turned up, and then it has a lot of reflection, as you can see in the red. But here in the white, you don't really see that because that is actually the back of the sequin, so it's actually cup side down. It gives it a little bit more of a bubble look, which I think works really well with the trim of the hat and the beard and mustache. Um, Another thing that I had to do with this is for the mustache, when it got into that kind of upper corner by his nose, I just had to use a bead because I didn't have enough room for the sequin. And then, of course, the little pom-pom that I used instead for the actual top of his hat. So just one of those pieces. My mother and I find templates, we cut them out. A lot of times we'll either save them for later ones or we'll use them right away. It all depends, but it's a lot of fun. It's gives you a chance to really try and be as creative as possible. So here's the next part. It is a pair of mittens. They're just pink, and then I did a little the silver here. I did the can't really tell, but it is um, it's this little trim that I used. It's a squiggly line that kind of goes up and down like that, and I attached it on there with some beads so that way it stays on. So it's just a little mitten with a little bit of cuff and a pair of mittens. So that's the next one. And then my final of the Christmassy items is her Christmas tree. So trying to get that all in frame. This is the larger piece, but as you can see, I did the Christmas tree in green, of course. Down here at the trunk, these are just brown beads, so I didn't even use sequins on that one as well. I just purely did the beads. And then for the garland itself, I just strung from this side to this side. So I just put the beads on the string and then secured it down on the opposite end, giving it enough of a kind of slack to then droop down a little bit. And then I just kind of came back down to the next one, did that, went across again. This was a labor of love. I stuck myself in the finger with my needle several times over. You get a lot of calluses when you're doing this, by the way. And then my final piece, and kind of the pure essence of my niece, this is her monkey. So that's really right there. So this is her monkey. I'll try and hold it like that now too. As you can see, it has a little bit of a raised edge here, if you can notice that on this side. And that is because I took a piece of felt, I did the sequins for the face, the nose, and the mouth, and then I had the two little spots for the eyeballs. These are just googly eyes. Left that blank until I was ready to attach the eyes. And then once I had that all completed, I hot glued it onto the back piece of felt and then did the sequins around for the outside of him. So it's really kind of a different piece. I like to call it a felt on felt. If you're a Disney pin collector, you understand how I probably came up with that. But we also are going to be using a pipe cleaner for his tail, so that's what this is. So that is her monkey, or as she likes to call him, Wah, and that is my niece's way of saying monkey as well. That's what she named him. She named her monkey Monkey, or more specifically, she named him Wah, because monkeys say ooh, ooh, wah, ah. So that's where Wah came from. My niece is kind of in her own little world crazy, but that's why I love her. So anyways, my DIY project that I will be doing, and kind of along those lines, so with the sequin and bead kind of look, as I'm going to be creating an ornament. So each of the pieces that I have here are just two little Mickey heads. If you can see faintly on this one, nope, this one, you can see the little line for his pants and then two little circles for the buttons. So this one is going to be the front, and then the back is just going to be hot glued onto it. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to hide those the string in the background. So I don't want to show that on the ornament. This way it'll be like that. I'm probably going to stuff it with something just to give it a little bit of fluff, to give it a little bit of something. So whether that's cotton balls or something else, I haven't quite decided yet, but so I will hot glue probably the bottom together put in the stuff and then hot glue the rest, and then it will come together. So the tops of this front part is all going to be black sequins with the black beads. Down here is going to be red pants with the yellow or more gold kind of pieces here for the buttons, and then I will probably attach it either through the middle here or up here to kind of do an off hang. I haven't quite decided on that part, but so that's what I'll be working on. So after I have completed the first part, which is actually going to be the gold beads and the pants, I'll probably get to that stage and then show you a little progress update on that. And then I hope that you keep tuning in to see more of how this turns out. And I am still thinking of new ways to do other kinds. So, for instance, one of the ones that I want to do for myself, because of some of the bead colors or the sequin colors that I just recently got, was I got this amazing blue and purple sequin, and it just automatically made me think of Eeyore. If you know how much I love Eeyore, you know that that's something that is very near and dear to my heart. Whether or not I do him as an ornament as well, or if I choose, I was thinking even magnets would be kind of fun. So I just think that once I start to get into this and start to kind of figure out my groove with it, and most likely get a better pair of scissors because I could not cut very well with either of my pairs of scissors. So crafting scissors is on my grocery list right now. I will be hopefully talking a little bit more about that or other things, and just kind of want to share that with you and share what I've been trying and what I've been wanting to do. So I will hopefully be able to give you some progress on the stocking as well as these ornaments or whatever they turn out to be. But I had to share. Wanted to share all that with you. So hope you guys are having a great and magical day, and I look forward to talking to you soon.